Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet Hope, Chicago. 22 is 4, 4, 4, 6. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on.
Hi there, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hersh, and your host, Avi Meyers.
Thank you, Marty. Hi, Avi Meyers here, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hersh and myself. Of course, Sonny Hersh is our entire technical crew. Dial us up on the World Wide Web at ntnm.org, where there's a complete alphabetical index to see all of the guests over the last few years. And you'll also find the links to be able to watch them on YouTube, where over 80,000 shows have been watched. Community policing, we're real big on it, camps24.org. Sonny, of course, is the chairman of the 24th District Advisory Committee, and we urge you to go to your CAPS meetings. There are more problems in the neighborhood these days, and go to your meetings so you'll find out what they are and find out what you have to look out for. But especially burglaries, robberies, but there's a lot more. Go to your CAPS meeting. In the meantime, speaking of Marty Levinson, one of the great Marty Levinsons of all time that you saw in the beginning of this show was done by our, within the last year, state's attorney, her first time here as state's attorney, Anita Alvarez. How are you?
Thank you. Okay, I'm doing good.
And thank you so much for bringing that gigantic scissors.
Did you enjoy those scissors?
I enjoyed it tremendously. And I also want to thank Dan Kirk and Sally Daly Hunt, who obviously put thought into it. We're all talking about the Marty Levinson thing and how to do it.
Right.
And I know Marty's sitting at home smiling right now, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So we thought we'd bring the big scissors with us to help you out.
That was great, and thank you so much. And that is not only a keeper, I think you'll be seeing that on every show for the next few months. So what's it like to be state's attorney?
Oh, it's great. It's great. We've been extremely busy since I was sworn in December. Every day there's a new challenge, but it's great. I'm loving it.
No, that's terrific. And, okay, so what new, now there's all kinds of problems, of course, with the county, the budget, the whole shot. So basically, what are you particularly, I know the community, what we used to call the Community Prosecution Office, okay, which is now called?
Community Justice Center.
The Community Justice Center. Let's talk about that, because I know that's something you're very fond of. And we talked about that before the election. And
we
this
did.
Is an instance of you keeping a promise, and that's an admirable thing.
It is a promise that I made during the campaign, and I'm happy to say that I'm keeping it, and I'm going to continue to try to work harder to open more of these offices. But we opened back in May. We opened our first one here on the north side, on Western and just north of Foster. And we renamed it to the Community Justice Center. We thought that that would be a great name because it really encompasses so much, the centers do. And then just several weeks ago, we opened up our second one on the south side, 90th and Cottage. And same, again, we're operating under the unit of Community Justice Center. So it's really exciting because the assistants that we have working in those particular offices have really gotten to know the community and the issues in those communities. And it's our offices, the phones keep ringing. The phones keep ringing, and we're handling all kinds of things. We're handling phone calls. We've had hundreds of phone calls about quality life issues, about mortgage fraud, about consumer fraud, you name it. And so it's great to have that, just that presence in the neighborhoods.
So people feel a connection. It is working.
Absolutely, it is working. We've gotten a lot of just compliments about our North Side office because it's now been up and running for a couple of months. And I said we had our grand opening on August 12th. For the South Side, it was
with those scissors.
With those scissors, absolutely, with the same scissors. That's why I can't leave them here because I gotta open up some new offices. But we had standing room only in our opening. opening on the south side. It was wonderful. It was just a good way to open up to the community. Alderman Hersh is so happy that we're there. And we're looking forward to it. And we're focusing now on the west side, and Oak Park is where we used to have an office before. So that's our next, the plan is to open up next in Oak Park.
That'll be great.
And I know they want it yesterday, but it takes a little while because we've been trying very hard to do this with just kind of restructuring in the office, moving some people around in order to get this done.
Well, you've also got major budget constraints because there's no money coming into the county and the budget is smaller.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we're beginning budget season, so that's always going to be a challenge. But I'm going to do my best to do what we do best, and that is represent the victims of crime. So my budget is going to be prepared with that in mind, and in order for us to continue to do the services that we do.
Now, obviously, you were the number 3 person in the office before this all happened, so you're already familiar with a lot of the workings in it.
Absolutely.
So, but does that make it easier for the budget, or does it?
Well, easier in that I anticipate the problems because I remember what we've been through the last couple of years, so I kind of know they're coming.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it any less challenging because it truly is challenging because it's this economic time. I mean, we're all feeling it, no matter where we are and what we do. So it's challenging for everyone. So I guess there are really no big surprises. But again, I've got a great crew working with me. So we're going to continue to work hard.
Yeah. Are you eventually going to want to have a community? I keep calling it the the community justice center everywhere.
Well, we'd like to expand more than just those 3 that I've talked about. So little by little, we're going to try to do it, and take it one day at a time and see. Again, resources are limited, so that's why I can tell you that it's such a positive response that many of the commissioners, aldermen want one in their ward. We can't possibly put it everywhere, but so we're trying to pick locations where we can service several different communities or wards.
That sounds good. Let me, one thing I'm curious about, this is the thing I usually like to ask before the show, but we're doing the scissors thing. Are you still able to run marathons?
Oh, I've been running, not marathons, marathons. I ran 5 miles this morning, and I'm going to continue to run because for me that's therapy. That's how I
understand that.
That's how I clear my head.
I'm a walker, so.
Are you? Well, then you know. I mean, it's that one. I always tell people it's that peaceful hour in the morning that I have all to myself, and I could clear my head. I've run a few 5Ks, 10Ks, but no marathons.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is.
10K is a lot. 5K is a lot. So basically, given the budget constraints, I mean, where do you feel you're short? Are there places you feel you're short right now in terms of the people you've got, or are there places?
I believe, we are short. 2 years ago when we went through that budget crisis where we had to actually let people go, we've never recouped. We've never gotten those spots back. So we are running low, particularly in our misdemeanor courtrooms, running low out in the suburbs, particularly, again, when we're talking about misdemeanors. So those are areas that, we would like to staff, put more ASAs in there, assistant state's attorneys, but right now we're running pretty short.
Yeah, now let me ask you by the same token, too. The Chicago police are also having the same problem. Is that having an effect on what's going on with you also, or?
Well, yeah, they are having the same problem, but I think we've been experiencing this for a couple of years, and it doesn't really have a big effect on us. But I know they're having some issues as well.
What are you finding that's different than you thought now that you're in charge?
Well, I've spent my entire career on the criminal side of this office, and people forget about that whole civil bureau that we have. And I can tell you, I've spent a lot of time myself getting up to speed on everything we do on the civil side. I mean, it's medical, it's med-mal, it's torts, it's transactions, it's real estate tax. There is so much going on in our civil bureau that's for me, that's different. And I remember that 2 weeks into my office, I said, wow, I thought I was going to be talking about murder cases. I'm talking about tax levies.
Wow.
Because there is so much going on our civil end, and so, which is great.
Yeah.
And sometimes people forget about that.
Yeah, now, I noticed too, it's funny because you basically came with the crew Dick Devine used to come with. I mean, different, of course, your people. But, now you've got somebody checking the place out in advance. I mean, we were checked out under his administration too. We showed him where all the bombs were.
Okay.
The thermonuclear incendiary devices and all that. And, but is that an adjustment too, being with that many people all the time? Or?
Oh, absolutely. It's a big adjustment for me. I'm not used to that. I'm used to, during lunch hour, I'm going to go up and I'm going to go take a walk, or I want to go to the store. I want to go to Walgreens. And now I have people with me. And for me, that's a big adjustment. Yeah. And I know I understand it's for my safety, and I understand that, but it is. It's a big adjustment for me.
Now, one of the things, what you and I don't blame you for this, I mean, one of the times I was talking with Sally, you weren't able to make it when we had scheduled because you actually were in a conference with people about the death penalty, and I have seen what the results in the on TV and all that and in the papers. Talk to me about that, because the death penalty is something that's fairly unusual here.
Well, the death penalty is obviously still on the books here in Illinois.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, just so you know, I don't. As long as people get the guilty person, I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, okay. It's still so it's still something that we as an office, as state's attorneys, we are going to seek in the appropriate cases. And the moratorium sure still exists, but it's still the law, and so we're still going to seek it when it's appropriate. And we have a whole process that we go through. Just because technically a case might be death penalty eligible, there's a whole review process that we go through in the office before that is done. And I'm very happy and proud of the way we do it, because we look at everything in regards to the case and before that decision is actually made. And there's certain qualifications, training that you have to have in order to handle capital cases. So that's where I was earning my continuing legal education credits in order to remain on the books to handle capital cases.
Oh, wow. Never thought about something like that.
Yeah.
I do know that one lawyer told me once when I was a police reporter covering courts and stuff that he liked the idea of capital cases from the standpoint that everything has to be checked so thoroughly compared to other cases that he felt stronger with the end result as a result of the extra due diligence done in the case.
Right, and the Supreme Court has rules that for both the prosecution and the defense to make sure that the lawyers handling these cases are lawyers who are qualified.
Yeah. So no, you were talking about the training and all the rest of that too. So basically, you're running it's 6 or 7 different courthouses you've got lawyers in, and
absolutely out in the suburbs, Rolling Meadows, Skokie, and Maywood, and Bridgeview, and Markham, and then of course the city. So we're all over.
and now you've got to work together with. You've got a varying number of county officers also. I just started realizing. Today's my day to interview county people. Last time was too. I'm doing the same thing the next time. It's like I'm starting to understand a little bit how everybody has to work together in order to do some of this stuff.
Right, and we're very excited because we just went up online with our new case management system we've had tremendous help from the county several years ago to acquire the funds in order to implement that. And we work closely with the clerk's office, with Dorothy Brown's office. So it really was a great effort from several different units to get us up and running, because our case management system is so antiquated, and other jurisdictions. We're the second largest in the in the nation.
Right.
And our system was well beyond it in years. So we just went up yesterday with the new system. So it's going to take a while for people to get used to it, but it's going to allow us to do some amazing things. And that was a big effort.
No, that is good. As a matter of fact, speaking of Dorothy Brown, Sonny and I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago, did a whole bunch of coverage and shows and things on the integrated
criminal justice system.
Right.
Right, absolutely. Right, and we've worked with Dorothy on that as well.
Yeah, so that's something that would really be, hopefully that's happening. As a matter of fact, she's invited on one of the future shows too. So
okay.
I'm hitting everybody in the county. So we'll have all 4 candidates as a present for president and all the rest of it. And what other things are you looking to do right now?
Well, right now, like I said, we're in budget season, so we've got that challenge going. But we've been kind of stepping up our efforts to try to get some grant monies in order to implement. I talked about this in the campaign. I haven't been able to do it as of yet, but it's still a high priority for me, and that is to create a mortgage fraud unit. to concentrate just on those cases. I mean, we do handle those cases, but I would love to be able to create a separate unit where I could have assistants, just focus on those types of cases, because that's where we've seen an increase in mortgage fraud, particularly against seniors. So that's a goal, and I've got people working feverishly to try to get us some money. We have been told we should be getting some money from the stimulus package, and that might help us create a unit such as that.
No, that'll be good, and definitely, there's no question. I mean, the Tribune did a series about that, and that's something we warn people about at all the CAPS meetings too, to be very careful about things like that. And it's scary, especially with the online presence. It's creating a whole new form of crime and criminal, and the whole shot. So basically, how many people how many people do you have, period? How many lawyers do you have total within the office?
Well, we're less than 900. We should be really at about 900, but we've probably about 870 now.
Yeah.
So lawyers, and then the rest would be support staff and investigators. So, it's for a unit something like that. We'd love to be able to put 4 people in there, and have them focus on those types of cases. And an investigator would be helpful. That's something, again, like I said, we're going to continue to work on. We're going to continue to work on legislation. We got some good things passed in Springfield this session, but our gun bills really didn't go anywhere. But I'm going to continue to work on those types of laws, because I think it's important, the violence we've seen in the city, and I think we have to stay up on those gun laws. And we'll try again in the veto session. We'll try again next year, and hopefully we'll be successful.
No, that'd be great. That sounds like good stuff. Any other thing on our remaining minute and a half here that you'd like to? I mean, of course, you can outline like a whole huge thing, but go ahead.
Well, it's been a great couple of months because we've done a lot, but we still have a lot to do. Yeah. And I know I've assembled a great crew of people, and that'll help me, implement the ideas that I want to implement. The Community Justice Center, I'm so happy that we've been able to get that off and running. Which
I think is great, and we definitely talked about that beforehand, and Sonny and I are big fans of that. Even though you can't hit 24 right now, you're getting 20 and 23, which is great.
Absolutely. And so we're going to continue to get out there in the community and continue to, be the voice of the victims of crime.
No, that'll be great. I want to thank you very much. I also want Anita Alvarez, the state's attorney of Cook County, and it's great to see you there. And I wish you all the luck in the world with the job. And we, anytime you want to come on, you've got an open forum, especially with that scissors. We want to thank your Chief of Staff, Dan Kirk, and we want to thank Sally Daly Hunt, and thanks you so much for all your help. Reminding everybody to tune in every week on the show. Check our website at ntnm.org. And by the way, you'll see all these different Marty Levinson things, and now you'll see
the big scissors.
That's one of the absolute greatest Marty Levinsons I've ever seen. And thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks.
So anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. Go to your community policing meetings. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.